anything else, I'm going to turn it over to Margaret West, who is the program chair for the month.
Well, it's a pleasure today to welcome to the Magnolia Rotary Club Dennis Milligan, our state treasurer. I've had the pleasure of sitting here visiting with him and found out he is a very busy man. As you can see from his bio that's on your program, he not only is state treasurer, he also has a water treatment service company that is operated by his son-in-law, and he has some building and real estate endeavors as well. And I found out that's not on here. He raises horses for racing. And
yeah,
so
that dastardly Roger Smith that loves around here beat me several times.
yeah, that's what I say. So let's give Dennis a warm Rotary welcome.
Well, it's certainly a pleasure to be here today and to also get the opportunity to see some familiar faces. I've actually even learned through some conversation, got here 20, 30 minutes before the meeting started, that I've got someone from LSU to pick on, so I'm very proud of that. I always like that opportunity. It seems like a good sport. I think the question was asked something to the effect that he keeps complaining about the Razorbacks, and someone just said, well, you know, you could always move. But a little bit about the Treasury of State's office, and I always, as I speak to groups, and I travel quite a bit, there's nothing in that capital for me. I want to be out. I'm a native Arkansan. I love Arkansas. I'm just as happy getting down here in Magnolia. Next week I may be in Wynne, Arkansas, or Fort Smith, so getting to travel and get our message out about what we're doing for you as our treasurer. A lot of people don't know. A lot of people actually don't know that it's an elected position. I'm a constitutional officer, and a little bit of history. I'm not going to, and I don't talk politics with respect to Rotary, but just from a history perspective, I'm the first Republican ever elected to the office since Reconstruction, and also in our state's history, it's the first time that all 7 of the constitutional officers are all Republicans. So that's a little interesting tidbit. I kind of come up through the ranks. I've certainly known Skeet a long time, and I actually served as the state chairman of the Republican Party. I'm from Benton, Arkansas. In fact, I'm not far from Congo Road we were talking about. In fact, I could take them, if they could leave right now, I can take them back to them. But I served for a couple of years and as chairman of the party, and then was going back to my private sector life and had a reason, without delving off into it, to actually run for circuit clerk in my county of Saline County. And in that entity, I ran against an incumbent that had never been in office for 10 years, never been opposed, and he did some things that were, in my opinion, worth getting someone to run against him. I was the first Republican ever elected as the circuit clerk in Saline County. And we did some great things for my home county. I was the first Arkansan and the only Arkansan so far to ever be nominated for a national award by the Thomas B. Munsterman award. That they send out a yearly award for jury or court innovation, and I did some tweaking on our jury program that really helped save my county a lot of money, time, and effort. And now it's being actually adopted by a number of other counties from around our state, so I'm very proud of that. But anyway, one thing led to another. If you're not aware, our former treasurer of state, Martha Shoffman, unfortunately, is in the federal penitentiary. Margaret was convicted of political corruption. She was taking bribes from a broker to basically give him business and churn the accounts and get the commissions, and that was a very unfortunate. Now, she was taking these bribes in pie boxes, and so I think that's kind of relevant to the movie Shawshank Redemption, if any of y'all have ever seen that movie. So what I did immediately was said, if you elect me, I'll create a no pie zone around me. up till I took over in 2015, were averaging about 18 to 20 million a year in interest. My first half year in office, I did 28 million. My first full year in office, we did a little under 50 million. And I'm very pleased we turned your treasury from a passive treasury to the staff didn't like me to use the word aggressive, so they asked me to use the word active. Now, Gary, don't you go back and tattle on me. But I am. I'm a businessman, and I believe in making our dollars work for us. So, and I believe in the old saying, that's just the way we've always done it. Well, that's not good enough for me. My business instincts kick in. I know that in my private sector life, yeah, maybe we did good yesterday, but that was yesterday. I've got to produce results for you each and every day, and that's just how I roll. And so I'm controlled by a finance board, and by the way, ladies and gentlemen, I'm responsible for $3.5 billion of your money. Now, I know Dan gave the stock market report, and I was busy trying to get down some numbers and see exactly where things were going, but 3.5 billion in short-term and long-term investments, and I'm controlled by a finance board, which is chaired by the governor. And so I don't just get to wake up in the morning and decide that, Murphy Oil is a good investment. I have to present investments to the board and do it well in advance before I can take action. But we've done that. We've done well. I put the right people in place that know investing. I'm at your office every morning at 5:30 to look at the overnight market so I can get a feel for the way things are going with respect to some of our short term. Another little tidbit, we do $70 million a day that flows through my office. Now, I spend most of my day back there counting. And the most aggravating thing in the world is when I'm nearly through and somebody interrupts me and I got to start all over again. Most of our money is, of course, done in wire transfer. We do about 16.5 billion a year flows through the treasury. One of my main responsibilities is to get that money in, and I know our county judge, my responsibility is also to get that money back out to our communities. So when I say the check's in the mail, it really needs to be in the mail. Glad to have a colleague here, county treasurer, and I thank you. No other constitutional really has that affiliation. The governor doesn't have, I guess he's got the CEOs of the county judges, but he doesn't really have like I have with all the county treasurers. Proud to work with all of them. Recently got legislation passed. We're doing so good with your investments that had a number of other entities wanted us to invest their monies. And so I got legislation involved and got it passed where we can actually now invest for counties, other municipals, et cetera, that want to engage us to help them with their investments. So that was an honor and a privilege to be able to help there and kind of bunch that money together and to be able to help Arkansas to grow. My second promise to Arkansans was that we would be transparent. Because of the Martha Schaffner debacle, what I did was I created on our website artreasury.gov, and you'll have that information there in front of you. There's a little vault, and you click on that vault, and it shows you, Arkansans, where your money's invested, what the rate of return is, what the maturity dates are, et cetera, et cetera. So there's no backroom deals going on with any brokers or anything like that. And I'm very proud of that because that just lays it right out there for you. The third thing that I implemented was a no gifts policy. The second day I was in office, I was offered a trip to Hawaii, all expenses, a condo, shopping, and I told the individual I appreciate it very much, but that's not the way we're going to conduct the treasurer's office. So those three promises I've stood firm and proud, along with getting a passion, and again there'll be a brochure. I'm really passionate about education. I'm passionate to know that about jobs, being a job creator. I started a small water treatment company in 1985. Very proud to say we're in 17 states now. My son-in-law runs the day-to-day operations, so I'm employ Arkansans. They're good jobs. I'm still one of the only smaller business firms. I still pay health insurance for my employees because I realize they're what makes it happen. They're what ensures my future. So the governor knows my passion, but one of the things, ladies and gentlemen, as we try to go out, as we try to recruit companies, businesses, whatever, to come to Arkansas, if we don't have an educated workforce, we hang it up. Because we can have everything else, but if we don't have that workforce that's capable, and I'm not talking about, I was a non-traditional college, I'm a technically trained individual. And that's something that, quite frankly, we need more of. We need more carpenters, we need more electricians. A little bit of a joke, but there's almost some truth to it. My plumber gave me a bill the other day for a subdivision on some houses, and I looked at it, I said, my doctor doesn't charge that much. He said, well, that's what I used to do. So I'm just telling you, and the good Lord didn't make it. Well, I mean, we're all not just designed to sit behind a computer. And so very thankful. Now with that, I'm responsible for a program called the Arkansas 529 College Gift Savings Program. I'm always curious, anybody familiar with the program? Got some, that's great, I'm glad to hear that. Most Arkansans are not. And most Arkansans wonder and think that this is some new program that I just established. No, ladies and gentlemen, it's been around for years. And the beauty of it is that you can actually create an account or accounts for a child, grandchild, your child, the neighborhood child, whoever. You can invest in this account, and when they become college age, they can withdraw this money. They can use it for tuition, room and board, computers. Excuse me. They can't use it for, somebody asked me for sorority or fraternity. No, they can't use it for that. It's tax-free to them, so there's no taxes going out. The beauty of it is that a married couple can save up to $10,000 a year, a single individual $5,000 a year, and they have 9 different investment choices, so it's not one size fits all. And they get to deduct the amount they contribute to those kids off their state income tax. Now I ask you, would you rather give money to the state of Arkansas or give it to your grandkids? I mean, whatever. And there's no limit on the number of accounts. I have 3 accounts for my grandkids, and then my daughter and her husband have those same 3. So there's people contributing to their accounts all the time. And they're going to have a lot of money. In this day and time when we've got our college grads graduating and have such enormous student debt, this is a perfect program to add to the potential for those individuals to be able to pay for their college. So I implore you, I beg you, please look at your brochures. It's inevitable. I'll go back every time I speak to a Rotary group. I'm going to get a new customer. I've grown the program $132 million since I took over. And it's not because it's been rocket science lately. It's because we've talked about the program. We've promoted the program. We've done everything we can to get the word out. And I hope and expect that you as community leaders will help me get this program out too and advise people. People say, Dennis, man, I just don't have much money. Well, you know what? You can open an account as little as $25. You can invest as little as $10 a month. And remember, that drop in the bucket, it may not be much at first, but think about it. After a while, just get you a leak in your house and see how fast it takes that bucket. Well, that's the same way that money just starts rolling and rolling. Our average account right now has $14,000 in it. Can you imagine your child or grandchild getting to the point where they're college age and they have $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 to help with those costs? Now, I'm going to answer quickly some of your. And by the way, y'all are the first Rotary that said I had it until 2 o'clock. That's I've never found that time to be that interesting. Thank you very much. That means a lot. Oh, blessed are the grieving that they get invited there. But the money follows the child. So even if they went to dreaded LSU, that money would follow them to LSU. If they go to a technical school, Vocational school, the money follows them no matter where. Let's say they walk up to you and say, Dad, Grandpa, Grandma, I ain't going to college. You don't lose that money. You can withdraw that money out. There is a 10% penalty because remember, we've increased it and increased it and increased it. Or you can transfer it to another child. You can split it out. So very much flexibility in your ability to be able to use that money. You can even use it for your own self. I mean, I can't imagine, now I met a group of men here at the table earlier, they said they could solve the world's problems. They probably wouldn't want any more education, but still, you can use it for yourself if you so desire. So an extremely wonderful program, and as a politician, I'm always willing to debate, but you're not going to out-debate me on this one. There's no way you're going to cut me off at the pass on this one, and I'm passionate about it. Something I always like to do, and again, if I didn't say it, I get a little excited about that program. We're the most toured office in the Capitol. Did I say that? Okay. We had over 22,000 visitors come through our office, our working office at the Capitol last year. We had 30 countries. I mean, I was listening to the French, the Haitian, I mean, you can't imagine, Spain, and then we had all 50 states. Now, I used to like to think, Skeet, they would come to see me. Nope, wrong. Yeah. They're coming to see the money. We're the only state in the union, and I'll put this disclaimer, we believe that allows our constituency to actually come into our working vault, where most of my constituents, or most of my colleagues around the country, they have spider webs and IOUs in their vault. We've got cold hard cash. We keep about $500,000. We are the state's banker. We actually have 2 tellers when we come into our office, and we actually cash checks for legislators and Capitol employees. I have to really watch some legislators. There's some of them kind of shady. We've got the pictures on the wall. But the interesting part is they can actually come into our vault and hold that $500,000. Now you can only imagine the fun that especially the kids. Now, again, as a disclaimer, I do have to ask my wife to leave the vault periodically because she likes to go in there and just hold the money. As the state's banker, I've told you, and I firmly believe there are 2 types of people in the world. I believe they're the earners, and I believe they're the spenders. Now, I actually used that example the other night. I was speaking to a group, and I used myself and my wife. I'm the earner, and she didn't talk a whole lot down home that night, so I'm not going to use that example anymore. But I am the earner, and the governor and the legislature are the spenders. So when people say, Dennis, you always put this money here, I don't have any control over that. I truly don't. I am proud to say that I'm the first treasurer. It's been unprecedented that the governor was able to take $20 million of the interest we earned and use it toward our roads, our federal matching funds, so that we didn't have to have a tax increase. And as we all know, roads, infrastructure are extremely important to companies wanting to locate here. If you've not been on it, but from El Dorado up to Sheridan on the Little Rock, that highway there now, that ability to be able, and Madison Murphy had a little bit of something to do with that. It seemed to me like he served on the Highway Commission. But look, Haley Barbour, former governor of Mississippi, I was very close to Haley, Governor Barbour. And he told me, he said, Dennis, taking jobs away from Arkansas is easy. I said, Governor, tell me how. He said, well, we wait and let y'all do all the hard work, and then we go in and promise them good roads, good infrastructure, and as long as we see we're getting a return on our investment, we realize it won't be paid back in a day, but if they're there, plus the other benefit is my constituents all get good highways to drive on. So I'm very proud that the governor chose to spend that money there to help on our highways. And then they also created a rainy day fund that will cap at $120 million that our interest has been able to be able to go to. So that part, I would like to think, ladies and gentlemen, there's no saying, and I especially think that it does fitting the politicians because it's actually a motivator in reverse. after all is said and done, much more will be said than done. And I'm a results speak louder than words guy. And that is just one of the goals, and that's my thoughts for Arkansas, the future, our kids. I want our kids to be able to stay here should they want to. I don't want them saying, I've got to leave because I can't get a job, or I want them to stay here if they want to stay here. I want them to stay in Magnolia, Arkansas if they want to stay in Magnolia, Arkansas. I want them to stay in Wynne, Arkansas. Please never hesitate to contact me in my office if I can assist or help you in any way. I'm real hands-on. I'm not just, somebody that thinks, well, anyway, you come to the office and I'll be happy to tour you around. If I can, Martin, I like to open the floor. You can ask me any question you want to ask me, and if it's really that simple of a question, I'll get Gary to answer it wherever he's at. So, yes, sir.
Well, you were talking about a 4-lane all the way from Camden to Little Rock. How about
From El Dorado? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, how about one from Magnolia?
Well, again,
We've got the fastest growing university in the state of Arkansas here.
Well, again, that would be something that you probably need to be talking to your own Tim Griffin or your legislator, your senator. I think probably Bruce Malik is your senator. You could talk to Senator Malik. Again, I'm trying to help raise the money to be able to help us get that. But yes, sir, I agree and concur with you. You won't get any argument out of me. Yes, sir.
Where does the state's investment portfolio rank, size and rate of return with other states?
Well, I don't know that I can totally answer that. Remember one thing, the only thing we have in common with the name treasurer in other states is the name treasurer. You've got this treasurer over here in Massachusetts. I'm getting good at that, Massachusetts. She has nearly 500 employees. She's responsible for the state's lottery, a host of other responsibilities. And then you go to North Dakota, where my colleague up there has 6 employees. But I'm not trying to skip your question, but there's different requirements and different results that you can compare to, because some are responsible for the teacher retirement. I'm not. Some are responsible for the state employee retirement. So the money and the rates of return are, but I will tell you that I'm up this year 35% in your dollar investments than I was this time last year. I'll take 35% any day. Yes, sir.
Is your office responsible for the program where Arkansas go and get that unclaimed money?
No, that's the auditor's office. That's Andrea Lee. She would be the one. Now, again, some of the treasurers around the country are responsible for that program also, but I'm not. One thing again that I've been, but I am will be responsible again is, and so blessed that we've done such a good job that other agencies and entities and colleges are looking at us to invest their monies for them, and I'm extremely proud of that they would entrust and think that we're doing the type of job. And of course, one thing I've got to say, we're doing a lot with little. Look at your money markets and your I mean, they ain't offering very much money right now, and I've been extremely innovative, but also very cautious about those investments. Let me say too, just real quickly, I have one daughter. My wife and I have one daughter, and I have 3 grandkids, as I said. Boy, this kind of touches me emotionally. In the 9th grade, she approached me and said, "Mom, Dad, I'm going to become an attorney." I went through counseling for some time, and I'll be darned if that's not what she become. And so, but in my own right, and she brought it up, she said, "Dad, you're a politician. So I'm not going to tell any politician jokes, but you won't tell any attorney jokes." So if there are any attorneys out in the audience, I'm not going to be saying because I'd be violating my pledge to my daughter. So, any other questions about about what we do, why we do it, how we do it, anything. Our capital duplicates the nation's capital. If you're not aware, you drive up, we look like the nation's capital. A lot of filming done there. I actually got to hang out with Melissa Joan Hart. She's the latest thing I've seen her on is that Nutrisystems thing where she lost like 40 pounds or something like that. She hung out in the office, got to visit with her quite a bit, and they filmed a movie there, part of it in the Capitol called God Is Not Dead Part 2. We actually had some Arkansans. Governor Huckabee was in the movie. Our Speaker of the House, Jeremy Gillum, was in the movie. You know what? For some reason, I don't know why I didn't make it to the movie. But I hang out with actresses too. So. Anything further? Yes, sir.
Just one thing.
Yeah.
I saw not too long ago where the state partnered with EverFi Financial.
Yes.
For financial literacy.
Yes, sir.
I'm just kind of curious what you're doing with that. The reason I ask is because I work for a bank and we've also partnered with them and got their program implemented in junior high here in town.
And quite frankly, I'm glad you brought that up. And I was actually criticized for that partnership. What I did is I engaged a company called EverFi, which is a private sector company, to help me promote financial literacy through all the schools throughout the state of Arkansas. We chose 4th through 6th graders because we felt that was a great age to catch these kids. And the criticism I received was the fact that there was some question of whether or not the state ought to be engaged in financial literacy. But let me tell you again, the only thing worse than a company not wanting to locate here because of uneducated is financially illiterate people. And if you don't know it, the state of Arkansas, I don't even know if we can say thank God for Mississippi right now with our education. Here's the beauty of it is my first goal was 75 schools in our first year. I hit 101, and we're continuing to grow and expand that program with our schools around the state. And again, I'm always looking for tangible results. If I invest my money, I want to see a result. The other thing we're seeing on that is we're seeing what I call reverse education. What the heck is reverse? These kids are going home and teaching their mom and dad about how to handle a budget, how to wisely spend money. Mom, Dad, that piece of plastic right there, there's something that comes at the end of the month. And that has been one of the amazing things. So I appreciate your efforts. And yes, we're always looking to reach out and get partnership and community involvement with and so that EverFi program, you know, I'll take the criticism because I do believe that it is a wise investment in our state and in our growth. So
But ultimately the goal is to get it throughout all schools in the
yes,
state.
sir. And it's free of charge to the school district. The only thing they have to give me is the time. And then we supply everything else along with EverFi to support that curriculum. Anything else, ladies and gentlemen? Well, thank you so much for having us today.